on Earthang. Earthang. Good morning, welcome back. We're here to help you buy your houses, buy your rentals, buy your vacation home, buy your first home maybe. We're here to answer all your questions. So whatever your scenario is, whatever you're going through, if you have lates, if you have great credit, if you have no down payment, if you have a big down payment, whatever your scenario is about buying a house, ask us, tell us, we'll help you with the process. We'll take you from A, never even spoke about it, all the way to Z, being in your house, owning your own house with your keys.
Christopher Powers, Mike Vargas, Blue Sky, Laura Beller, Denver Broncos. What? Got people joining us, man. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
already got
so
the hearts are already coming in.
Load up that chat box, guys. Let us know what you're thinking about buying a house. We're going to answer all your questions. Do not be shy. Let us know your scenario. Holy shoot, it's April Jones.
No hat
April
today.
Jones shared the live.
No hat, dude.
No, April Jones is more important than no hat.
You're right. April Jones.
Bill
What's
Gross.
up, April?
Here
Hey,
we go.
what's up?
Here we go with Bill Gross again. Hopefully all the way to G for guaranteed shelter for all people. Yep, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice, Bill. I do like your ideological perspective. I really do like your ideological perspective, man. I really wish that we lived in a beautiful world where everybody would get housing and everybody would get food and no children were ever harmed and they were never trafficked. I wish we lived in that world, Bill. I really do. I really do.
Most people do.
I do.
April Jones, trying to get my husband to get a hold of you about a VA. Nobody seems to want to help us. Well, I wonder why no one wants to help you, April Jones, but I'll tell you what. Here's our phone numbers.
Yeah.
Call us, text us, and we will get back to you. But if you call us and text us right now, we won't be able to answer because we're talking to you live through all the social media platforms. But
April, just call us. We'll answer your questions. We're amazing at the VA loan. Not just good, amazing. Like way better than your average loan officer, even the guy who professes to be a VA specialist. I know it really, 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 really well. He knows it really, really, really well. We will help you. We'll tell you about shopping the rates. We'll tell you about all the benefits for it. We'll tell you about the drawbacks. There are drawbacks. There's a lot of drawbacks. So we will help you. April, just give us a call. Thoughts on when the housing market crash may come? Ashley Hecklin. Ashley, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. We're not going to have a crash. We're going to have what's called a correction. A correction is when market goes about flat, maybe a little bit down. And people have been predicting this crash for a very, very long time. Now, I've been in finance for over 35 years. Do the math on that. It's a long time. But in this 35 years, I learned a lot of things. And when the big crash happened of '08, which most of us can remember, '08, '09, '10, that's because the underlying pillars that were holding up the society just kind of fell apart. And there were something called liar loans out there. People would just come in and state their income, like literally state their income. And the banks would say, yeah, I guess if that's what you say, you make 220 grand a year. I guess that's true. So cool. Here's your loan. That was literally happening. Well, once the power of all that bad stuff happened, it crashed the market. It like crashed the market. And Congress stepped in and decided to overcorrect. They literally overcorrect. Now, for what we do, you have to be NMLS licensed, and you have to tell it all the time. I'm 944-254.
1066958.
So we tell our NMLS license, and you have to go through an FBI background check. You have to get fingerprinted every year. You have to go through CEs every year. It's a very difficult job to get into. And because of that, they call it the barrier to entry. People are not in loans they can't afford. Most people can afford their loans. If not, there's enough equity in their house where the bank's not going to get hurt. Because even if somebody has a house that's worth, call it $500,000, and they bought it for $300,000, well, if the bank has to foreclose, they're going to get all their money. They're going to pay for the lawyers. They're going to pay for the sheriff. They're going to pay for everything, and the bank won't get hurt. As long as the bank doesn't get hurt, the economy doesn't crash. The reason the economy crashed last time is because the bank got hurt. And they literally came out with TARP and ARA in order to bail out the banks, which is like the most controversial thing like ever. And it happened. So I don't think there's going to be a crash. I don't think so.
But good question, Ashley.
Yeah, very good
April
question.
Jones, good. We need amazing. You got amazing.
Yeah, you got it.
TikToker.
Cool.
I took out a home loan and put it all on red and lost everything.
TikToker, it sounds like you are a TikToker. No question about it. Sounds like you are a TikToker.
Leonardo needs to tell you. Need to tell Leonardo the VA rates right now.
VA rates. Leonardo. Listen up, Leonardo.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
5.75. What? That's as exciting as when President Trump announces his running mate. I probably can't say that. I'll get banned again. But anyway, when our future president announces his running mate, that's about as exciting as when I announced the VA rates. 5.75. Now, there's a catch to that, Leonardo. Leonardo, nothing's easy ever, ever, ever. If you don't believe me, by the way, you can go to our links. Go to Cool Stuff, Today's Rates. You'll see what I'm seeing right now. 5.75. Now, when I look at the VA rate, I see 5.75, but the law says we have to disclose the APR if we're going to disclose the rate. So the APR is 6.402. Now, as a guy who's been doing this for a while, I know that spread between the 5.75 and the 6.4 APR tells me there's some costs in there, and you're buying down that rate. So they are putting out 5.75 as the rate. That's what they're putting out. But there's a little more to it. And you got to have like a perfect FICO score and all that good stuff. So, hey, Leonardo, we're here for you.
Time for change now. Thank you for the love. Kitty Cat Praise. What states you in?
What states you in? What states you in?
All of them.
You in all of them? How are you in all the states at the same time?
Because I'm like magical or something.
All right, you're magical.
Magical or something. Or you didn't hit or something. Or something. So, Kitty Cat Praise. In all 50 states, what state are you in? And what state are we going to help you in?
Kitty Cat.
Use your 6516 tips for new LOs.
Yeah, first off, watch us a lot. Watch us a lot. Because even though you're my competitor, there's a lot of good shit that gets dropped here that I wish people taught me when I was brand new. If you watch us a lot, you will get a lot of tips. But here's the most important tip for a new LO. It's not an easy job. It's a very, very difficult job. It's not just the numbers. Anybody can calculate income. I mean, I can take a moron and say, hey, take W-2 and put it in this line, and then here's your W-2 income. Hey, take your bonuses for the last 2 years and put it in this line. That's not the hard part of this job. The hard part of this job is that you have to have the respect and you have to have the demeanor so that people will trust you with their loans. And you're going to get screwed a lot by realtors and clients. It's just the way it works. You're going to get screwed a lot by realtors and clients. So what you have to do is go, hey, I got so many coming in that if this guy screws me, bye. And then don't cave on your morals. Don't cave. If you say, you know what, I'm not going to help this guy anymore, then don't. Wish him well. I don't wish him ill, but I'm not going to help him. And sometimes you need that super high level, and it costs some people houses. I've had people leave me that could not do a loan. It cost them a house. I came back to me and I said, hey, I just don't want to help you anymore. Sorry. Go find somebody. You made that choice. Cool. But the only way you're in that power of position is you have to know your shit. You have to get out there and create relationships. Relationships with clients and relationship with realtors. And the only way you'll get the respect is if you know the guidelines. If you know how to close a loan. And if you don't, you need a mentor. If you don't have a mentor, you will fail out of this business. If you don't have a mentor, you won't even know why. You'll be like, everybody expects me to do this loan. Nobody expects you to do the loan. Nobody cares. As a matter of fact, hey, I hate to say this, but new LO, if you and I go after the same client, dude, it's gladiator time and you will lose. So I will teach you unless we're competing for that same client, in which case, every man for himself, I expect you to give everything you got because I'm going to. So I need you to have that kind of power, presence, know your stuff, and I really hope you succeed, man. I sincerely hope you succeed.
Yep, wish you the best, new LOs. Kitty Cat Praise, refis for a second home, absolutely all day long. And you're in Missouri, I think, right? Missouri, we love Missouri. You love Missouri?
Yes.
Of course you love Missouri.
I was thinking how to spell it. And I was like,
Don't worry about
I was
that.
going to go MISSISS.
You got
No,
the
that's the
Google.
wrong spot.
You got the Google. Don't-
Missouri is the
don't-
show me state.
You're gonna short circuit.
The
yourself.
show me state, yo.
I think MO is Missouri, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well it's MO,
Yeah.
whatever MO is.
Montana, I thought it was Montana.
Is that Montana? I don't know.
Okay.
Time for change. Instead of Trump wins, it will crash hard.
I disagree with you. Time for change. I don't think that the president has all the power in order to do that. As a matter of fact, if you understand our financial system, you will know that the chairman of the Federal Reserve is appointed at 2 years into the term of the president, which means even if President Trump comes in, he cannot replace Jerome Powell. He can't for 2 years. He can't. That's how they set it up, so that a new administration can't just screw everything up and change everything just cause. So, that's what's going on. I don't think the president has that much power over the real estate market overall. I do think he has power over the economy through a lot of the back end stuff. That's what it is.
Yep. Ashley Heikland said, trying to jump in at the right time. Do not play double dutch with your primary residence.
Amen, brother.
Do not play double dutch with your primary residence.
That paints a good image, man. Don't play double dutch with it. Don't play double dutch with your future either.
I always go off the great poet of the 1900s, Too Short. Get in where you fit in.
Wow.
And if you fit right now, get in. Get in. Because a lot of people are going to miss the boat and it's going to sail off and you're going to be stranded on the island. But Ashley, you're in good hands.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Tanya, you guys are so helpful.
Leonardo says VA rates. We just gave it to him, right?
We give it to him. Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
He just asked a bunch of times though, but
Hey,
that's
Tanya,
okay.
we're here for you.
That's okay.
We are here for you. We got some good shit for you.
He said what? That's great.
All right, cool.
VA. So thank you for your service, Leonardo.
Yep.
Forgot
We
to say
appreciate
that.
you, man. Yeah, good
Very
point.
much. Davis, USDA loan rates.
It's going to depend on a lot of things, but they're going to be govies. So FHA is
I look just like the
5.75.
emoji, the emoji that does this.
Okay, yeah. So the govies. So they're broken up into packages. When you do loans, there's government loans. All right, cool. Government loans, and they're all about the same rate. So government loans are FHA, VA, and USDA. Those are government loans. Then you have what's called GSE, government-sponsored entity. They actually used to be private companies until the crash. Then the government stepped in and said, hey, y'all are going bankrupt. We'll save you, but we're going to sponsor you, which means we have say in your underwriting guidelines. So the GSEs are Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Very simple enterprises, not entity. Government-sponsored enterprise. He corrects me on that all the time because he's right. It's government-sponsored. So when you look at the govies are USDA, VA, and FHA, and those are coming in about 5.75. Now, are they all equal? Well, they give you the same about rate, which is 5.75, but then if you went FHA, you would need 0.55 mandatory MI on top of the 5.75. So that's how FHA adjusts their spot. And then USDA has it's either 0.31 or 0.35. Do you know off the top of your head? I think it's 0.35. I think it's 0.35 off of that base. So they adjust things with their MI rate and bases. So USDA is probably going to be about the same.
Yeah. MJ Johnson, do you help with assumable loan?
MJ Johnson, I got bad news for you. I got really bad news for you, MJ. You're not going to like this, MJ Johnson. MJ Johnson? Yeah, MJ Johnson. Hey, MJ Johnson, you're not going to like this. Nobody helps with assumable loans. The bank helps a little bit, but not really much. They don't really help. They just kind of have to. Because here's why. This is the sad part of it, but it's reality. So if you came to me and you said, hey, Lee, I want a brand new loan, I'd be like, cool. And you know, in the back of my mind, I'm going to make a commission. I'm going to make between $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, somewhere in that range. I'm going to make some money. And because I'm going to make some money, I'm going to watch the processor, the underwriter. I'm going to watch title, escrow, the notary. I'm going to watch everybody. And I'm going to make sure they do their job. I don't jump in every time. I just watch it. I watch it. If something goes a little crazy, I get on the phone with the client and I go, hey, let's do blah. And they go, cool, all right, cool. You know why? Because I'm incentivized. The bank's going to make some money. They're going to go, hey, listen, we're probably going to be able to sell this loan off or keep it in New American Funding's case. We're going to sell it off for, 5, 10, 15 grand. The bank's going to make some money. Hey, the realtor's going to make some money. Everybody's going to make some money. When you decide to assume a loan, there's no loan officer who's going to get paid anymore. So he's not going to help you. There's no realtor who's going to help you. There's no title. There's no escrow. Nobody's going to help you. There's a tiny little division in the back of the bank called the assumption division, and they'll help you when they get around to it. They're not getting paid a commission. They're not in a hurry. They don't care. They already made the money off the loan. As a matter of fact, to have to send an employee back in and requalify somebody for the same loan that they've already made money on them costs them money. So, if you were the bank, would you want to do assumptions? No! The only one who benefits in an assumption is the client, is a borrower. It's the only one, the person who's assuming. And because of that, there's nobody you can call and scream at. Nobody cares. That's the reality. Assumption, like if you came to us, we'd probably close your loan in 30 days or faster. Why? Everybody's getting paid. On an assumption, the quickest I've seen them close, 90 days. I've seen some as long as 9 months. Why? Nobody cares. Who helps with assumptions? Kind of nobody. That's a sad, but it's reality.
Yep. Big Apache, do you help people in Kansas?
We help people in Kansas. We love Kansas.
All 50
love
states,
Kansas.
guys.
You're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. He is in Kansas. Yes.
All 50 states.
All 50.
CNB, what's the turnaround time once someone fills out an application with you guys?
CNB, after you filled out the application
Give them the hack. Give them the hack.
and you've talked to us. So here's the catch. We get applications like every day between 5 and 20 a day. But 98% of them are not complete. And we don't touch them if they're not complete. We don't touch them. They're like, hey, I'm going to get you my W-2 at some point in the future. Waste your time, waste my time. We don't get involved in it. So if you've completed everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything. Oh, I got you my 1040s, but I didn't get you my W-2s yet. Nope, that's not complete. I need complete. So once we're completed, you give us a call. You say, hey, Chris, Lee, I just turned everything in. Did you get it? We'll go, oh, hold on, let me check. Is this you? Yeah. All right, cool. Hey, I got everything but your most recent paycheck stuff. If I get that over to you in the next hour, can you get on my file? Yes. If you get it to me in the next hour, yes. If I'll get it to you tomorrow or the next week or something like that, it just goes in the pile with a bunch of people that are kicking tires. The truth is, if you really want to buy a house, nothing's going to stop you. If you don't want to buy a house, it doesn't matter how good of a salesman I am. It doesn't matter how good I know the guidelines. Nothing can make you. So for the people that want to buy, they'll be on the phone with us. Get it? Yeah. So and once we have all the docs, we can usually do it within 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, depending on your situation. If you say, hey, I want to go shopping at the end of the month, probably 72 hours. If you say, I want to put an offer in tonight, 4 hours. Say that? We're going to put an offer in tonight. If you're serious about it, we can go to work like right now. That's what it is.
Yeah, guys. So when you're filling out the applications, sometimes you forgot to check a box or answer a question. So call us.
Yeah.
Time for a commercial.
If you need a badass loan, call a badass loan officer. If your badass loan officers are Chris and Lee at New American Funding, you can reach them by calling their private cell phone numbers at the numbers on the screen. But don't call right now because we won't answer. Chris is live on Instagram. Lee's live on TikTok. I forget which one you were live on. And this will disappear in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye. Oh, by the way, here's another thing that happens. It happens often. Somebody says, hey, listen, I sent you all my documents. I say, cool. First thing I'm going to do while you're on the phone is I'm going to pull your credit. Wait a minute. You're going to pull my credit? Yes, I'm going to pull your credit. Well, I don't know if I really want that to happen. All right, cool. Have a good day. Call me when you want to because I am not going to try and talk you into pulling your credit. I don't give a shit. If you don't care about getting a house, I don't care about you not getting a house. If you care, I'm the best guy on your side. Him too. But if I'll call you up and I'll say, hey, I got all your stuff. Yep, I got everything. I'm about to pull your credit. If you've got a problem with a credit pull, you're not ready to buy a house. Not even close. So I won't even waste my time. I will not waste my time. He won't either, right? You won't either? No. If you're not ready for a credit pull, bye.
Clyde, good afternoon.
What's up, Clyde RN?
So he's at good afternoon. What state are you in? Because it's still morning where we're in California.
Clyde, yes. We're just barely at morning. But
Madison, what's better, USDA or FHA?
Madison. Yes, it is. Whatever it is. So here's the catch on USDA. USDA is a very unique loan. Here's why. First, we have to qualify the property prior to qualifying the buyer. So not all properties qualify for USDA. Where does USDA qualify? They're in very rural areas. Then there's some other catches to USDA. USDA has an income limit. You cannot go past X amount of income. If you're in this area and you make too much income, you don't qualify for a USDA loan. So first we have to qualify the property, then we have to qualify the borrower. So the borrower is going to have certain qualifications, but this is a unique loan where if you make too much money, USDA is like, nah, we're not going to help you. Nah, you make too much money. We won't help you. There's income limits. That's what they call it. Income limits on USDA. So it's a very unique loan. Now, if you fit within that income guideline and you want to do zero down, there is a benefit to USDA over FHA. FHA, on its face, is 3.5%. You can put a down payment assistance program into it, but on its face, 3.5%. USDA, 0. The MI on FHA is 0.55, which is not too bad, but not too great. On USDA, 0.35. Better. So, which one's better? Depends on your scenario. All things being equal, if the property qualified for USDA and you did not make too much money, probably go USDA.
Victor and both wife and I have a 795 credit score. Good job. And they only gave us a 6.25. My other house is a 2.25. Different year, isn't it?
Yeah,
this
Victor.
is not 2021.
Whole different game, man. Whole different game, Victor. Yeah, it's a whole different game. We might be able to beat that 625, maybe. With that 795, that's your golden ticket, man. If you were over 800, it'd be better. But 795 is like right on the edge. Right on the edge.
Mommy of 3. Could you guess how many children she has?
3. I was pretty good, huh?
I wouldn't stand on that,
So
but
are
it's a good guess.
all us LOs here? Mommy of 3, dig you.
So far, there's 3 of us.
Yeah, there's 3 of us. Yeah, I know. The LOs, I think LOs tune in to get inspiration for their content. I swear, I follow probably 4 content creators that I think are valuable, that I think they're good, that I think I would like to know this person. I don't really reach out because they're doing their thing, I'm doing my thing. But I watch my content that I put out, and then about a week later, I watch their content, and I'm like, things that make you go, The first time is like, all right, it's a small industry, we're going to say. The second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. After about the 5th or 6th time, I'm like, I think they're watching my content, getting inspired, and creating their content, which, by the way, is flattering. We're flattered by this. I'm not against LOs. If you know that, Mommy of 3, I'm all about helping other LOs. I really am about helping other LOs. And what I'll tell you, like one gladiator training another, get good at your craft. Get good at your craft. Because as long as we're not in the arena, I will help you. I will teach you. I will, with kid gloves, make sure that you're the best you possibly can. But the minute we're in the arena, it's gladiator time. So keep that in mind. We appreciate you on our side. That's it.
Bruce G. Is a HELOC good? Bruce G. Is a HELOC good?
Is a lion good?
Is a taco good?
All of that. Dude, all of that flies.
Tacos are delicious.
Dude, no. What if you're on a diet? Taco bad.
No, you just
What if
pour
you're
the meat out.
Well,
and
what
go
if
to
you're in the
tortilla.
arena, gladiator, and the lion comes out? Lion bad.
Whoa, what if the lion goes after your opponent?
Lion good. See? Yes. You don't know. So, HELOCs are case by case. Their interest rates are higher. The best HELOC rate I've seen is 8.75%. The worst I've seen is probably 12.5%. It's going to depend on your credit, and it's going to depend on your purpose. If your purpose is to buy a boat, kind of don't ever recommend it. Not a good idea. I mean, it's probably better than using a credit card, but it's a leverage against your primary residence. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. If your purpose is to buy an ADU that's going to be income producing, I can see how that maths out real easy. I can see how it maths out. So, HELOC good? Is a lion good? Is a taco good? I don't know if taco's good, because tacos always are good, man.
Always good.
Never
Never a bad day for a taco. So, Bruce, what he's saying is there's no good, there's no bad. It's either appropriate for you or not appropriate for you. And if you want to talk about it, our phone number's in the bio. Give us a call.
I see what you did. Talk about it. I see that, dude. If you want to talk about it.
Or if you're ready to start your application, go to the link in the bio and select Apply for a Home Loan Now. Madison told Time for Change, delusion? Is she saying she's delusional? Or is there a delusion? I don't know. But you guys have fun. Stuart Gurr, how long after Chapter 13 dismissal in North Carolina?
Stuart Gurr, I got good news for you. Good news. Chapter 13, I could literally finance you while you're in the middle of bankruptcy. You don't even have to have it discharged. As long as you made the payments on time, because here's the two versions. Chapter 7 is going, hey, I'm going to go buy myself a wave runner, a boat, and a couple of quads and a Z06. All right. And then you know what? That's a good day right there.
Z06?
That's a good day. And then you're like, hey, Your Honor, I can't afford this shit. I'm just, screw it. I'm walking away from all of it. And Your Honor's like, okay, we're going to repossess everything. And you just said to the system. Well, if you did, that's a chapter 7. It's when you say, screw the system. And you just walk away from it. Well, chapter 7 takes a very long time to come back from. A very long time. But if you're chapter 13 and you do the same thing, you're like, hey, I'm an engineer. I'm making 120 grand a year. I'm buying a boat, wave runners, a quad, and a Z06. Oh, shit, Your Honor, I got myself in over my head, but I don't want to walk away from it. Instead of paying $3,000 a month for all this stuff, can you bring it down to $2,200 a month where I can manage it? And Your Honor says, you know what? Yeah, I can do that. That's responsible use of debt. I will force all the creditors to do that. And if they do, well then perfect, and you made your payments on time, the system says, hey, you didn't walk away from your debt. Because you didn't walk away from your debt, we'll still finance you. You do enough payments on time, I can finance you while you're in bankruptcy, like literally in bankruptcy.
There you go, Stuart. Let's get it moving. User 5828 just got on. Do you do DSCR? Hey, everyone that has a question, hang in there. We're going to get to every single one of you.
Everyone.
But do you do DSCR?
I do DSCR all day, every day. All day, every day, every day, all states, every day, every day. You want to know about DSCR? Start asking the questions.
All right. Chevelle. I think it's Chevelle. Cordova. Got it. How does your credit need to be?
There? Yeah. Your credit, Chevelle Cordova 4. I'll give you some real crash simple courses. VA doesn't have any credit requirement. I don't care what it is. I can get you moving forward with a VA. That doesn't guarantee you get a loan, but it guarantees you don't get hard stopped. FHA for 3.5% down, you need 580 or better. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, you need 620 or better. If you're looking for down payment assistance program, 640, 660 or better. I have one that'll go down to 600, but most of them 660, 680. If you're looking for the greatest interest rate out there, 800 or better. 800 or better. So that's what it is.
All right. Do that. What's the VA interest rate?
We did that. Do that. It's 5.75 right now. If you went to the link at the top of our bio, you went to Cool Stuff, today's rates, you would see 5.75%. That's what New American Funding is putting out. That is not my offer to you. That is New American Funding's statement to the world. You have to look at it.
Wow. So if you're in Hong Kong and you Google that, you'll be able to pick it up?
Yeah.
Dang!
Yep.
User 8045. Are there any down payment assistance programs for doctors fresh out of residency?
Yes, there are. User 8045, and they're amazing. Give me a call.
They're amazing. Congratulations on that residency.
Congratulations.
Farhona, thank you for the love. Stuart, waiting period. We already answered that one.
Yeah, waiting period. There's no waiting period. You can, if you make your payments on time, and that's the key, by the way. If you went into and you said, hey, Your Honor, I would really like for you to restructure my debt. Can you please restructure my debt? He says, sure. Instead of paying $300, you now pay $2,200. And you pay 3 payments and then you don't pay anymore, you're screwed. Yeah, you're screwed. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're screwed. That's worse than being in a Chapter 7 because you went to Your Honor and Your Honor actually worked with you and you said to Your Honor.
Yeah. Christian Noel, welcome back. Can you buy land and build a house using USDA, or is it just for the land?
Christian, USDA is for what's called improved land. Improved land means there's a house on it. There's land and they improve it. That's what they call it. So it's improved land. Now, can you buy the land with USDA? Only under one situation. Only under one. And that's called a one-time construct. So on a one-time construct, you go in, you get underwriting, you get your general contractor, your manager, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and then you find the piece of land, and then you go to USDA and you say, hey, I'd like to put a house here. Can you help me? And they qualify you, and if you qualify, you can buy the land and build the house, and there's a way to do it. He's actually certified in it.
Jaquez 1223. What can we do for income to debt ratio? It's high, but they are not our bills. So it's like a cosigner? Like, what's going on here? Student loan?
Whose bills are they?
Yeah.
It's like,
will you take some of mine?
Yeah, I know. Please take mine. Yeah. Can you take my bills? I really would like somebody else to pay my bills. Okay, so let's say that you co-signed for your mother-in-law for a car, and she likes a Raptor. And she went out and bought herself.
Your mother-in-law got a Raptor?
That's badass, dude. She's a badass mother-in-law. So
mother-in-law.
what's a going price on a Raptor? 90 G's, 100 G's?
Yeah, probably 90.
90. So you go out and you get yourself a $90,000 car, and you know what the payment on that is? $1,800 a month.
Bang.
What? $1,800. All right,
Bang.
cool. So now you co-sign for your mother-in-law's Raptor,
Badass.
but she makes good money, and she looks good driving that Raptor.
Hopefully you get to borrow it.
And get to borrow it every now and then. But for the next 2 years, she makes those $1,800 payments on time from her account with no assistance from you at all. None. Then I get to write what's called an LOE, letter of explanation. And I get to say, hey, my client co-signed for his mother-in-law for a Raptor, and she's been making all the payments on time. The underwriter's going to go, prove it. So you go, hey, mother-in-law, remember I co-signed for you? Now I need a favor from you. Send me your last 12 months bank statements showing that you made the payments on time. Cool. I'm going to submit those to the underwriter, and the underwriter's going to go, hey, yeah, I believe you. We don't have to count that $1,800. Get rid of it. What? Yeah, that's how you can get rid of it.
We Googled your mother-in-law. She's a badass. We
She's
get
bad.
it.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe Rogan's getting rid of his TRX and buying a Raptor.
No way. Is he?
He kept complaining about the TRX. I don't
Really?
know. You gotta
No,
call
that
him.
sucks.
You gotta
Yeah,
call him
I
and figure
know.
out
That's
why.
that's
Get
what
the
my
real data. My lion, Miss Lions. How can you keep your taxes down if your houses are being priced higher than they're worth?
Miss Lyons, there's a industry out there called appraisal. And appraisal is a licensed industry with not just one person. You can rebut an appraiser, but an appraiser has to have a license, and they have to validate everything. So if you get 5 appraisers to do an appraisal, they're all going to come in pretty close. I know people like to think, well, you know what? It's like Vegas. Sometimes you get a good one. Sometimes you get... That's not how it works. There's a little tiny variance, but they don't really have a lot of room. Because if the lot is 5,000 square feet, then they have to give it the value of 5,000 square feet. If it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, they have to do model matches and sales in the local area of 4-bedroom, 3-bath. They don't get to willy-nilly pick the price. So they do their appraisal price. Now, that's different than the county assessor. County assessor is the one who actually makes your property taxes. Usually, assessed value is way below market value. Way below. And if market value falls below assessed value must drop down to meet market value. That happens. I've seen it happen a lot.
Yeah. Hey guys, load up that chat box with all your questions, comments, concerns, and scenarios. We'll give you the answers. If you're interested in getting a home loan, go to the link in the bio and select apply for a home loan now. If you want to taco about it, our phone number there is there too. Your girl, beautiful 222. What's your opinion on purchasing a mobile home?
Okay, so I'm not a fan. Not a fan of mobile homes. Modulars, maybe a little bit of a fan. Maybe. But all things being equal, if you have the opportunity to go SFR versus modular or mobile home, I go SFR all day, every day for lots of reasons. Most important is resale value and equity in the property. That's the most important. But if you buy a mobile home, by definition, it's mobile. It's not real estate. It has wheels on the back of it or on the bottom of it. And you can hook it up to a truck and drive it to Oklahoma and then drive it to Miami and then drive it back to New York if you want to. So it's mobile. It's not real estate. We don't do with those loans. However, if it was affixed to a primary or to a foundation, via a 433 and an engineering cert, it then becomes real estate. But it's always going to be valued different. It's not going to be valued like an SFR. If you're just living in it, then maybe if it's so good for you, but I know people try to do it to save money. The truth is you're better off with an SFR.
Yeah. Your girl Day. Your
girl.
What Vantage score do you go by when buying a home?
Your girl Day. No Vantage score. We don't even look at Vantage. We don't give a shit about Vantage. Vantage was built by Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. It was built by the credit agencies to compete with FICO. Vantage said, hey, this FICO company, which is a $12 billion company, that is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. 12 billion listed on the New York. FICO, they said, hey, we can do this, and we're the credit agencies. So they started Vantage. And they said, you know what? We're going to really screw things up. We're going to take Vantage scores to 900, and then we're going to change our low score to something different so that it doesn't even look like FICO. And everybody's going to want to use Vantage. And it didn't work.
Nope.
It didn't work. In the last probably 6 months, Vantage said, hey, you know what? We're going to mirror FICO's 300 and 850. That's what they're going to do. So, Vantage is trying. It's a private corporation started by TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. It's trying to compete with the big dog, FICO. But right now, the banks use FICO.
Connor Amato in the house. How you been, buddy?
What's up?
Fellas, I'm a travel nurse. Me and my wife are getting regular jobs in California, looking to move to Orange Crest.
Orange Crest.
Yeah,
that's
Riverside.
Badass, man. That's
Yeah.
badass.
How much money do we have to make to afford a $650,000 a house, dollar home, $1,000 in monthly debts? I'm gonna guess
650, dude. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it.
Oh,
but
for sure.
You're gonna make it.
$1.50?
yeah, $1.50. Probably you might be able to start at $1.40 because of your,
better.
but because of your $1,000 revolving debt that you just told us about, $1.60, $1.70, $1.80. But if you guys are traveling nurses, I did a loan for a nurse in Loma Linda not that long ago, 120 base. I was just blown away by the base at full RN, not LVN or the other
base.
NNNs. How about that base?
All about that base. Christian Noel's laughing at us.
I don't know what you're laughing, but we're here for you.
Yeah.
Hope we entertain you.
Drew Goodman, are either of you aware of any first-time homebuyer programs that don't have income limits?
Yes, we do have some, Drew. We do. Are you an LO, Drew? Are you an LO? If you are, you should know about some. So what they're talking about is called AMI, which is Area Median Income. And if you're in Los Angeles, the AMI is pretty high. I think it's 188,000. But if you go down to
Former LO, Drew says.
Former LO, okay,
Back
cool.
in the days.
If you go to, I don't know, Arkansas, and you make 188 grand a year, you don't qualify for any down payment assistance programs because they're figuring you make enough money, you don't need no help. So, there are AMIs on most down payment assistance programs. There are a few without any AMIs. We got one proprietary one at New American Funding that has no income limit. No income limit and drops down. You okay?
Tired.
You drop down to a 600 FICO. It's a pretty good program. There's a catch. There's always a catch. But there are programs out there, Drew, that do not have income limits.
Right, nice. Fill up that chat box, guys. We're going to answer all your questions. Miss Lyons said, thank you. AAA 1988. I just purchased my first home in Florida. 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 1944 square feet, 454,990 with a 16,700 down payment.
Sounds pretty good, man.
Was this a good buy? No closing costs.
Well, the big question is, are you happy with the buy? Because if you're going to ask whether or not it was a good buy, you won't know for about 10 years, man. I mean, most of the time, I can give you lots of reasons why it's a good idea to buy real estate, but whether or not you made a good purchase on that house, sometimes people overpay for a house, and then 10 years later, it's worth way more, and they're very glad they overpaid. Sometimes they struggle and struggle and struggle, and then this thing just stays flat. We won't know for a long time. Florida's a unique market. It's one of the strange markets that's a bit overbuilt. There's not very many overbuilt there's not very many overbuilt markets. Most of the country is underbuilt. But there's a few, Las Vegas, Austin, Texas, Florida, lots of parts of Florida that are overbuilt. So if it's overbuilt, it doesn't mean that you're in a horrible spot. It just means that the inventory is going to keep up for a while, so you're not going to see a rapid appreciation like you will in an underbuilt market. The bigger question is, are you happy with it?
Yep.
That's the bigger question.
Congrats on your purchase, though, AAA J.
Yep.
Drew Goodman, how much is your payment? Oh, he told him. $32.06. Good job. $32.06, not bad, guys. Some of the payments that we're quoting right now are outrageous. So $32.06 ain't bad.
Absolutely insane.
User 7755. How can we go about purchasing a home between two siblings?
That's pretty simple. It's very simple. So each person is gauged on their own merits, which means I pull credit on brother. I'm going to assume siblings, brother and sister. So brother, I pull credit on brother. I calculate income on brother. and I build a profile for brother. All right, cool. Then I put credit on sister. Calculate income for sister. Build a profile on sister. And then inside of the Encompass file, I merge these two profiles in order to qualify for a house. Very simple.
Yeah, two people all the time, guys. And actually, the strategy that you're using is becoming more and more common with the prices of houses. Income is not going up as fast as people would like it to, but the price of homes are freaking skyrocketing in some places. Drew Goodman, former LO.
Appreciate you, Drew.
Man, I'm in North Carolina, LOL, making $180,000, which doesn't qualify for anything. What? What are prices in North Carolina?
So, no, I think he's because he's $180 for down payment assistance program.
Oh, for the DAPs.
Yeah, DAPs.
We got
DAPs,
one for you, man. We got one for you. You're right, because a lot of those DAPs in those areas are probably closer to 120,000 max. 180 pushes you out. We have your back, though, Drew. Give us a call.
There's some that cap at 66.
Oh, man. Holly B, I'm 6'8", 145 pounds. Can I still put 3% down?
Holly,
All
doesn't
day.
matter. If
All day.
it's only smart if you have a very big FICO score, like 800, if you want 3% down, 800, because that's first time home buyer program, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Home Possible, and Home Ready. Those are the two programs that allow 3% down. If you want 3.5% down, that's FHA. That's a whole different game.
Yeah. Cisco V, what if my income is low, but I have enough cash for down payment?
Nobody cares, Cisco V. Nobody
How
cares.
How big is that down payment?
Yeah. If your down payment is like 90% of the purchase price, all right, you're good. But if you're thinking big down payment is like 5% or 10%, everything's driven off income, man. Everything's driven off income. Doesn't matter how big your down payment is. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. Yo, Favin, if I owe money to the IRS, does that mean I can't get a home loan?
That does not mean you cannot get a home loan. You can get a home loan. You can. So what happens? There's two ways to owe money to the IRS. One way is, oh shit, I didn't pay enough last year, so I'm going to voluntarily say, hey, I owe you 20 grand. I would like to pay you $500 a month till it gets paid off. Cool. If you did it that way and the IRS didn't have to chase you, it's easy. You just go, hey, I didn't have enough. We're good to go. And they're like, cool, prove it to me. Awesome. Last year, awesome, cool. Yep. But that's one way. The other way is, oh, remember 2019 and 20? I didn't file those and I owed some money. And the IRS is already chasing me. That's a whole different way. You got to go into an offer installment agreement that's stamped by the IRS, and I have to show that the most 3 months payments were done. 3 months of payments, not 3 payments, 3 months of payments. So if you voluntarily stepped into this because you owe the IRS money, no problem, no harm, no foul. I calculate that in, and you're good to go. If you're being chased because you're that late, whole different game.
Yeah, Drew Goodman. I work for a builder who's going to sell me the house about $30,000 below market value. Does it make sense to buy now since I can refi pretty early if rates drop soon? Hop on that deal, Drew. Hop on that deal.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be too anxious about the rates dropping because this is how I see it. I could be wrong. I'm usually not, but I could be wrong. Here's what I say. Drew, let's just say you make $5,000 a month. Okay, and your job says, hey, I'm about to change your life. You're about to get a pay increase, a lifestyle increase. And you're like, yes, I love pay increases. I love lifestyle increases. That's awesome. So you make $5,000 a month, $6,000 a year. And then they come on, they unveil it. They're like, hey, instead of $5,000 a month, you are now making $5,200 a month. Now, do you say F you to the job? No, because it's better. Are you going to go out and buy a new Raptor? No, because it's not that much better and you got to pay taxes on it. So, is it better? It's better. Is it gangbusters better? It's not gangbusters better. So, how does that relate? When the Fed comes in and he says, hey, I am going to reduce interest rates by 25 basis points. And everybody's going to go, yeah, we can afford houses now. Is it going to be better? It's going to be better. Is it going to be gangbusters better? It's not going to be gangbusters better. It's not. It's going to take a long time before we gangbusters better. So, keep that in mind.
What's a long time?
3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years, yeah.
So that's a long time?
Kind of a long time. Yeah,
I don't think it's a long time.
Well, it's Einstein. It's theory of relativity. I don't think it's a long time either, unless you're like can't make the payment.
That's well.
If can't make the payment, that's a long ass time. If you're just figuring, hey, you're over 40 or 50 years old, and 4 years is going to go by like that, not a long time at all. So it's relativity.
If Drew buys his house for $30,000 less than what the value is now, rates start going down, values start pushing up. In 3 years from now, if he can drop that rate to whatever the lowest available is, that extra $30,000 is going to open up that loan to value. And he's going with down payment assistance, which means he's going to have mortgage insurance. He'll have a better opportunity than most to have a better mortgage payment and remove the mortgage insurance.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a bad move as long as you can afford that mortgage payment.
Yeah, and the down payment assistance program, by the way, none of them are free. There's a catch to all of them.
Well, he's going to pay it back. It's going to get
Most of
paid
them
back.
are silent seconds. Yeah. Or they screw you on the rate and you can't get out of it, or else they want all their money back.
So, Drew, give us a buzz. Triple AJ, you're welcome, man.
Yep.
Liz, is it difficult to purchase a foreclosure or a short sale?
Liz, cakewalk. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But here's the undertow to that. You're thinking a foreclosure is going to be cheaper than fair market value. That was true 12 years ago. It is not true now. If you get a foreclosure, there's a market value. The foreclosure just means that the bank now owns it. And the bank's selling it through a realtor. And they're going for fair market value. That's it. Short sale, sometimes they happen, but most of the time they don't. So how do you buy it? It's easy. You get qualified. You get qualified as a lender. We even have something called NAV cash where you can walk in and offer cash so you can get a little bit better deal. But the banks aren't stupid. They're like, oh, God, I got to get rid of this house because I'm poor. I must get rid of it. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
There's a fair market value for the house. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Deals are far and few between, guys. There's not going to be deals just, I'm getting a deal. I'm getting a deal. If you want a deal, here's what a deal looks like. The neighborhood is going for about $500,000. And then there's one house that's just dilapidated, needs a new roof, it's infested with whatever, that they're selling for $300,000. You buy that for $300,000, you dump $100,000 into it, and then you sell it for $500,000. You make yourself $100,000.
That's a good deal.
That's a deal.
And that's so rare to find. I mean, if I saw that, I'd jump on it today. But they're not that
Far
easy to find.
and few between. You're not going to buy one ready to go. Drew said, seeing as I have equity. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
User 6213. What's today's average interest rate?
We covered that. I'm going to cover it again. FHA, 5.75. VA, 5.75. 15-year Fannie Mae Freddie Mac, 5.75. 30-year Fannie Mae Freddie Mac, 6.25. Yeah, don't believe me? Go to the link at the top. You'll see cool stuff. Today's rates. That's where you'll see it.
Yeah, Zach Finance. Thank you for the love. Yo Faven, if I owe money to the IRS, would that interfere with me getting a home loan?
Interfere? No. Factored in? Yes. Simple.
And the question is, do you owe money and you're making payments, or do you owe money and you're hoping it doesn't pop up? Because if you owe money and you're hoping it doesn't pop up, that could interfere. Mm-hmm. Drew, can't really answer that right now, about 7%. Okay, cool. User 1014. Same here in Wisconsin. Houses are going for over $300,000.
User 1014. That's actually wonderful news. 300K?
Relatively
Yeah, it's
speaking,
relatively
Einstein.
speaking. Yeah, all right. Sometimes I'm Einstein, sometimes I'm a dummy.
No, not you.
So,
Einstein's the guy that died a long time ago. He's really smart.
good point. Yeah. So, you know what the average house in LA is? $900,000. San Diego, $900,000.
California's average is $900,000, I think.
It's crazy. It's crazy. If you told me I found a house for $300,000 in California, I'm like, we can't finance it.
I'll take two.
Okay, we can't finance it. Why? Because it's got wheels.
Oh yeah.
I can't do
It's
that.
called a dirt lot.
But $300,000 is that's a. If we can qualify you for that, let's do it.
Yep. How much more would you go over asking price on a $300,000 property?
On a $300,000, it's market, and it's depending on how much you want it. Because sometimes people go out over asking because, hey, I want to live right next to my mom or my dad. Yeah, cool. I'll pay an extra $30,000 in order to do that. It'll catch up sooner or later. But will I pay over? Yeah, sometimes. But if it's just a heads-up market, it's a market. The market is what determines, and then the other part is, just because you chose to go over asking doesn't mean the bank will lend you over asking. The bank will only lend you appraised value minus your 3.5% down. Anything you're going to do over that has to be out of your pocket.
Yeah, go guys, load up that chat box. Ask your questions, ask your scenarios. We're going to answer every single one of them and call you out. Drew Goodman said, "You guys are awesome, LOL. Guy on the right reminds me of Javier Mendez."
Is that you or me?
That's you.
What's up?
That's you.
Okay, cool.
He's a mixed martial artist.
All right, I can live with that.
Beautiful 222. How much money would you need to make if you wanted to qualify for a $250,000 house with a $500 a month? $500 a month what? What does that mean?
Yeah,
What does that mean? A debt. I'm assuming debt.
Debt. Well, if you're at 60K, we're probably talking right now about 60K a year, somewhere in that range. But you have to have a great credit score, and it has to be in the right area. Like, for instance, if you were trying to do it in Buda, Texas, right now the tax rate in Buda, Texas, 2.97. That's a lot. That's ridiculously high. If you're trying to buy a new builds are going to crack twos almost every single time. However, if you're in Barstow, California, 1.25. So it's 60 grand a year is the answer, 60-ish to start.
Yeah, very good. Vanessa, what's the best way to start the process? The process of home ownership, owning a piece of America, the United States.
America.
Really easy. Really easy.
America.
2 ways.
America.
2 ways. 2 guys, 2 ways. Go to the link in the bio. There's a phone number where we can talk about it. Or if you're ready to get started, there's a link that says apply for a home loan now. Push that button.
Yep.
Put in your data. Once you're done doing that, give us a call. We'll get you started.
And if you're
That
really interested, just call us. We'll give you like 5 seconds to fumble and screenshot this. Just call us right after the live. If you're really interested, if you're just kicking tires, the conversation is going to go pretty fast. We don't really like to deal with. We'll answer some questions. We do a lot of answering here. But if you're like, Dad, I want to do it today, we will move everything aside and get you qualified today to get into the house.
Boom. Ellie says hello.
What's up, Ellie?
Brenda, what's the best way to understand escrow payments and the best way to go about them?
Best way to go about them?
I think maybe impounds. Is what
Okay,
we're talking
cool.
about.
So Brenda, best way to understand it, pretty simple. PITI. PITI. So PI is principal and interest. That's all of your payment. Your payment on your house is PITI. Part of it is principal and interest. The other part is taxes and insurance. So the taxes and insurance are impounded to be paid for you. And the taxes are usually due twice a year. Usually, not all the time, but usually. And insurance, you get a better deal if you pay the yearly rate. So they pay it once a year. So if the taxes equate to X, they take out X amount of money so that when that money is needed, the bank writes the check for you. And on the yearly anniversary, the bank writes the check to the insurance company so you get a cheaper rate. That's the simple way.
There you go. What happens after underwriting? Asked LE.
You can take that.
LE. You know what LE stands for?
Loan estimate.
Loan estimate.
Remember somebody's messing with us.
Loan estimate. What happens after underwriting? Well, it depends on what phase of underwriting. So your initial submission, which is conditional approval, means you get conditions. It means it says we need a letter for this or a current pay stub or a current bank statement, something that the underwriter says this is approved as long as you can get me these items, okay? So that's the first one. You collect conditions, then you resubmit it. After you resubmit it, hopefully everything's there, you get what you call a clear to close. Once you get clear to close, then you can order your loan docs, then you sign your loan docs, and then when those loan docs come back, then you fund, then you close. So those can all happen in 3 days after underwriting. It could happen 3 weeks depending on your bank and your loan officer and how good they are.
You don't own the house after you close, by the way. You don't own the house till you record. And that's after everybody gets paid. Recording is the magic thing. That's it.
Michelle, what if your income is $110,000 a year, but your credit is bad? How do I fix my credit fast?
Michelle, you can go to the top link, and we actually affiliate with somebody that fixes your credit for you. It's kind of a do-it-yourself, but they'll help you. It's a cheaper way. Or we can send you to somebody and you pay them, and they can fix it. That's it.
There you go. Drew Goodman. Oh, yeah, I'm a former LO. Haha. I wouldn't consider it unless I went down more than a point.
All right. Yeah. Drew, it's math. It took me years because nobody teaches you this shit, man. I actually teach it to you. So it's just math. It's always just math. But people are like, hey, is it a good idea to buy the rate down? And I would go ask people, and they would be like, well, I don't know. Do they want a lower payment? Do they think it's a good idea? I'm like, that's not a good answer. So when I finally took it down, I said, all right, it's going to cost me $3,000 for this lower rate, and I'm going to save $300 a month. Well, wait a minute. Well, then at a certain point, that $300 will catch up to that $3,000. Hey, that's kind of math. Yeah. So it's just math. Drew, it's always math.
Yeah. Liz, thank you. You're welcome. Genevieve Vasquez, keep going. I'm a first-time home buyer here. I'm learning lots.
All right, Genevieve, we're here for you. We would like to help you get that house.
San Fran Fit. I just got here. What'd I miss?
You missed all the good shit, but if you keep tuning in, you'll get it all. Hey, we're put it out there, man. I put out the good, the bad, and the ugly. I get brokers are big mad at me all the time because they tell the truth. Big mad, big mad. I'll even tell when somebody can beat me, when something's better rates. I'm just, because one of the things I've learned here is if you're trying to play long game, you can't angle on people. If you angle on people, sooner or later they'll catch you and you're gone.
Genevieve Vasquez, are you guys in California though?
Well, are you even in California?
Yep.
He is literally in California right now. And because I'm right next to him,
By default.
I'm right next to him. That's the fact.
By default, he's in California.
I'm in California too, but we do business in all 50 states. Yeah.
Alex Trejo, is 15% DSCR a non-QM?
Very good question, Alex Trejo. It's a non-QM. So QM is qualified mortgage under the Dodd-Frank Act. Qualified mortgage is going to be VA, USDA, FHA, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac. Those are QM mortgages, and they have to follow a certain set of rules. Anything outside of that, or technically non-QM, pretty simple. DSCR is a non-QM. 15% down, by the way, Alex. Very few people qualify for that 15% down because you have to have experience, a hell of a great FICO score, 800 plus. So most of them are 20% DSCRs because people are like, hey, I saw that 15%. Cool. What's your FICO? 680. Yeah, you're not qualifying. Just not qualifying. Yep.
What is being home broke? Is that buying at the top of what I qualify for? And not being able to make extra payments on my mortgage?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, home broke's a cute little euphemism that's like, hey, I'm real estate rich and cash poor. There's no actual technical term of that, but it puts a vivid image in your head.
I also think it's home broke is someone that's trying to keep up with the Joneses. Someone that's trying to keep a very nice car in the driveway, trying to carry that nice bag, trying to wear the nice watch. If you're living a very modest
Joe
life,
Rogan trying to buy a Raptor?
freaking Joe Rogan reaching out of his means.
Dude, you don't even know he can buy a Raptor.
Yeah, so house broke, I think it's if you live a really comfortable life and not try to keep up with the Joneses, I don't think you can be house broke unless you're trying to keep up and go on those vacations and do all those fancy things. So, I don't know, Liz. It all depends on the message giver. Ellie!
Thank you. Oh my God. I don't know what we said, but we're here for you.
Man, you make him say OMG.
I know, dude. I know.
Genevieve, if someone put an offer and the seller accepted it, can I try and still offer a higher bid?
No. Genevieve, it's a contract-driven business. Contract-driven. So, if somebody put an offer and somebody contractually said yes, you have entered into a binding contract. They will force the seller to sell. It's in a binding contract. This is why you need a good realtor on the listing side and on the buyer side, because it is a binding contract. Can they force the seller to sell if he changes his mind? Yeah, I've seen it happen. Seen it happen a few times where they force him. The buyer's like, you know what? I decided I'm not going to sell after all. They're like, you have to now. No, I don't have to. Yeah, you do. And they went to court and the seller lost and he sold his house. Yes, it's a binding contract.
Michelle, you're welcome. Christian Monique Marf. Is it possible for a conventional construction loan own the land 100%?
Did somebody just ask on a Cash App? That's crapola,
income.
right? That's capola. That's
well,
crap.
they can read it and do what they want.
I know.
Crystal, is it possible for a conventional construction loan own the land 100%, 670 credit, $52,000 income?
So, no.
Yeah, why not?
Well, because it's not called conventional construction loan. Construction loans are outside of the realm. Those are called construction loans, or those are commercial money. Commercial money. However, for the Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac one-time construct, that's a different loan. It's not a construction loan. It's a one-time construct. If you already own the land, they're able to factor that in. And you have to get the general contractor, build the plans, pull the city permits, and make all that stuff happen, create the general manager, and you can go FHA not FHA. Well, you can. Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. So, is it possible for a conventional one-time construct? Yes, but if you're looking for a construction loan, that's a different category. It's commercial.
I'm also going to add, Crystal, that you might be a step ahead of most because that land that you own 100% free and clear can be used as your down payment.
What?
Down payment.
What?
Down payment.
All right, I got it.
Elite Joshua, can I give my son his down payment for a $150,000 condo?
Yeah, but you better call us because there's a right way to do it. If you do it wrong, it's going to hurt.
Alex Trejo, you bet. Vanessa, do you guys have a down payment assistance program for someone who makes $130,000 a year?
Vanessa, first off, respect. You're a baller. 130K. Not a lot of people do that. Respect to you. Secondarily, yes, we have a national program that does not have an income limit. It is a New American Funding proprietary program that does not have AMI plugged in on top of it. AMI is Air Immediate Income. So we do have one. Call us right after the live. We'll help you.
And Tanya Thomas, what can I qualify with the salary of $65,500 and 800 credit score in Illinois?
65, I say
Great
you're
credit.
cracking 250,
Good job on that
260.
credit.
Yeah. With that 800K, you probably go a little higher than that. So 250, 260, 270, there's a lot we have to talk about. But there's your kind of rough gauge real quick. Yeah, 800 FICO score is amazing. Keep that up.
Yeah. Crystal Monique, you're welcome. All right, Lee, sign us out.
Hey, you know what? We appreciate all of you guys. We have been Chris and Lee. We are out.